if he thinks this ball is even worth it, because he is the collectible king. Here he comes, Tom Warman, my friend. Hi, Tom.
How's it going, Danny? How's it going, Michael?
Hi, Tom. Nice meeting you.
I'm still tired from CubsCon. My voice is trashed still from CubsCon. I saw you at CubsCon, and you were handing out your KolleXor cards, trying to, spread the word about your cool website, KolleXor. And let me see if I've got this right. It is a website by which you can upload pictures of your collectibles with a description and show them off to other users. So it's social media. It's Facebook for collectors.
Yeah, it's sort of combining social media platforms to have a dedicated site for your collection. I was at the Cub convention. Crawley says you got to pick a lane. So I picked the game used and autograph lanes for CubsCon. And I was witnessing one game used collector trying to sell something to someone else. And they were fumbling on their phone for pictures of the item. They couldn't find it. And I said, literally, this is a commercial for KolleXor. So what it does is you post your collection. You have your own website. It's totally free to use. You can track what you own, track what you paid for it, track the value of your collection. You can also look at other collections. As it takes under a minute to post something, it keys in all of the attributes like team, player, item type, things like that. So if you're
I could share my screen here. Well, this is my page. So if you want to, can you guys all see that?
Yeah.
On your screen?
Well, not anymore. We could see it, and then you changed it.
Right. I'm kind of clicking around.
There we go.
Yeah. So there's hyperlinks on everything there. So you can click Cubs and you would go to the Cubs items, Major League Baseball. So there's all the attributes are coded in. So you can just check, what other people have. So it's basically like a virtual man cave for your collection. But also, you can see what other people have. You can buy, sell, and trade for free on there. It's amazing every single day. Cool things you didn't even know existed pop up on there. It also has sort of a social aspect of bringing, fellow collectors together. You find what people have.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, can you comment on what other people have, like kind of have a conversation about things? Or
check this out.
So you can comment on them. You can direct message people about it. You can do a posting like on Facebook or whatever. So it's the genesis for this in my mind was I am a big collector of Cubs game used memorabilia, and to purchase things and keep your collection going, you're always selling things, and I would be texting like 10 photos of a piece around to various people. You got to find them on your phone, text them around. It's so much easier to just text the link. So, hey, someone will say, oh, let's trade. What do you have? And you start just rambling off random pieces. This is so much easier. You just text the link to your collection, and then everyone can see what you own. And then, you can, so much easier to share what you have. And then also easier to see what other people have if you're looking to trade for something.
Well, if you see my account here, I put up my Andre Dawson certificate of death, which was signed by Andre Dawson. It's obviously not his death certificate, but I put it up on the site, and then Matt actually commented on my page here. The first death certificate on KolleXor, love the foresight. Was Andre surprised? And I told him he looked at me like he wanted to cause my death, which is true. And then he says, ha, 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 sounds about right.
Yes, so a KolleXor first, the death certificate. Congrats.
Yeah. So Tom, you know a lot about collectibles, and now talking about this death certificate, my question is, how much do you think Danny's death would be worth?
My death certificate? How much would that be worth?
No, your death, because it's got to be completed. So you have to die first, and then we'll fill out the rest of it. Only then will it be worth anything, right? Or is it worth something now?
We'll set it for auction after Danny passes, hopefully in a long time.
And now, what do you think this would be worth? This is another thing I put on KolleXor. When I was 14 years old in 1998, The Chicago Tribune had, you know what? They used to have those the newspaper boxes all over the place. You put in a quarter, and you got out the Tribune honor system kind of thing. Well, my 14-year-old ass stole the sign that they would put in the front of the box that said Cubs first night game special section Monday, August 8th. Now, I took this from the newspaper box. Of course, I hung it up on my wall with thumbtacks, and so there's a couple holes in it. But do you think this would be worth anything?
Yeah, Danny, I was going to say your 8-year-old self should have foreseen collectability and known that putting thumbtacks to hang pieces would devalue it. It's like when I was a kid, I look back at photos of me with all these original first run Star Wars toys that I played with every day and asked my parents, why'd you let me open them? So,
yeah.
But that I would say the sentimental value of that outweighs the actual monetary value, but it's fun to show off.
Sometimes I think Jed Hoyer has that sort of idea about the farm system. They're worth more if we don't take them out of the package. This is something that I think.
Well, you gotta, and part of it is you cash them in now when you're trying to win rather than hold them. So hopefully they're working on that. They just did with Michael Bush. So, that they're, sometimes taking them out of the package or bringing them up actually devalues them. So
we've seen it,
the value before they're known commodities.
We've seen it happen both ways. I'm dropping a link to my page on KolleXor, and it's just for the podcast listeners. It's KolleXor.com is how it's spelled. 2 L's and 1 X. And I think it's really cool. It's like I don't have a lot of stuff, but it seemed to me that it wasn't totally about the trading of things. It's really like a virtual man cave, because what freaking good is it to anybody if nobody can ever see it?
Yeah, everyone, like the pride and joy of a collector's life is when someone comes to their house and you can show off your stuff. You get this this pride about it. So this is a way to do that every day on a free website to show off your stuff to anyone. So it's taking your basement to the world.
And you can meet other collectors on there because it's got that social aspect. So if you end up looking for stuff to buy, every price in the collection world is probably negotiable. So it's not necessarily a marketplace, but it's somewhere where you can do deals if you want.
Yeah, it's a free peer-to-peer marketplace. So if something pops up that you like, message the person, ask them if they'd sell it. A lot of the stuff is listed for sale. So when you list a collection item, you can say if you're willing to sell it or not, what price you'd look for. You could put an or best offer. So try to initiate some of those conversations.
And it's super easy to sign up. It's super easy to post too. Like it doesn't have an app per se, but it has one of those phone app situations. And it was super easy. I just pressed the camera button, and then all of a sudden I was making a post. Actually easier than Facebook, if you ask me, because Facebook wants all the shit from you all the time.
While you were talking, Danny, I just signed up. I'm in. I have an account now, and I literally started when you started talking. It's that easy.
And I know everybody thinks we're doing a commercial right now. We aren't. Tom did not pay us or anything.
I mean, we're absolutely doing a commercial, but we're terrible business people, and we make no money on it. We just think these things are cool.
We just think this is how I always wanted it to be. I only do commercials for stuff I like because I only want to help my friends. And Tom, you are my friend, and so I want to help your business in any way I can. I think everybody listening and watching right now should sign up for KolleXor with 2 L's and an X. So what is your favorite item on KolleXor that right now that we could look up? Maybe I could.
So I would say Ryan Sandberg's 1990 All-Star Game jersey that at Wrigley Field, he wore it during the All-Star Game, wore it during the season. It's part of my collection.
If I just type Sandberg, it'll probably come up.
Yeah, you'll get that plus whatever else is.
Oh, there it is, right?
Okay.
Is that you, Manhattan guy?
No, Tom Warman on there.
Oh,
okay,
I jumped in. I got Crawley is in here with his Ryan Sandberg 2009 bobblehead.
Yeah, Crawley's been posting the bobbleheads that were given away every season from the Cubs at the gate. So he's been going year by year. It's under Ryan Sandberg 1990.
Is this it here?
Yep.
1990 game used, All-Star game, home run derby, and regular season photo matched Cubs jersey. So, and I know there's a whole thing about photo matching and authentication. There's the sign, there's the signature. That's really cool, dude.
Yeah, so we're trying to get the All-Star game back to Wrigley. Hopefully it'll be soon, but this is an iconic piece. I do the game use display in the clubhouse at Wrigley Field during the season, and we'll be doing a centerpiece for Sandberg this year because he's getting his statue. So,
wait, you're talking about the display case underneath the bleachers, right?
No, so I do the display in the actual clubhouse. So there's
in the clubhouse. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a large display that is historical Cubs stuff meant to inspire the team. So this past season, I did for Mark Race and Sean Dunson for making the Hall of Fame, and then sort of teams that they were on, other pieces. So this year, I'll have items for Sandberg, for Kerry Wood, for Aramis Ramirez, and sort of that era of players. So
how about that? Were you at bingo on Saturday night by any chance?
Of course.
Okay.
Who doesn't go to bingo?
So you'd be surprised. The people that hate fun, that's who. But did you see that our friend Jonathan Evans ended up getting a champagne bottle signed by Ben Zobrist that was given to him by Tom Ricketts? So I heard as a story. He paid like $3,000 for that. Do you think one of one, right?
Yeah.
But do you think that he got a good deal or where it should be, or?
Well, it's going to a good home. John's got an awesome collection. He's a friend of KolleXor as well. So, that's a one-of-one piece. So it's hard to assign a value to it. I would say Saturday night bingo live auction is about the best time to extract money from people as the shots are flowing. I know they were passing around fireball shots, so that will lead to high bids.
Yeah, Jonathan Evans definitely might have been a little fireballed up in that moment, but it was all for charity, so I guess it's worth it. And the other thing you get to do is you get to stick it to the other guy that you're going against, which I think is part of the fun of the auction sometimes, because I know it's a bit of a small community and y'all know each other. And there's a bit of a competition, wouldn't you say, between you all?
Oh, absolutely. But it's also a friendly competition. For example, they do auctioning of game-used items, and you never know what the Cubs are going to find in the bowels of Wrigley Field. So this year, randomly at the live auction, they had a bunch of 2016 game-used bats that no one even knew existed. So you have, these groups of big collectors that end up sort of saying, okay, I'll bid on this, you bid on that, so we sort of stand down so that we don't get into massive bidding wars. So that was definitely going on because, shockingly nice game use pieces popped up this year at the convention auction.
Like jock straps and stuff?
Yeah, no.
It's David Ross's used jockstrap for the 2016 World Series.
Priceless. Get that on KolleXor.
Yeah. Well, we saw that Captain Cubbo was in the chat. He just signed up, and so it's very cool. So everybody should go sign up. It's fun to look at stuff, even if you don't have stuff. And even if you have stuff that's not worth anything, it's still fun to see everybody's stuff because it does no good to anybody if you can't see it. So,
yeah, well, the stories behind items are sometimes the best part about it. Totally free to use, free to sign up, free to buy, sell, trade, free to post your collection and look at other people's collections.
Very cool. Tom, thanks for coming on, and we'll definitely have you on sometime that we need something appraised.
Definitely. I'm your Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. Nice meeting you, man.